Hello, everyone. This is author, motivational speaker, and dating coach Matthew C. Horne. And I'm bringing you a video tonight titled, Simps Never Alter the Ecosystem for Sexually Attractive Men. I have one for you tonight. But before we go any further, always know that my videos in the dating space, they're inspired by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available on my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. But let's get right to it. Simps never alter the ecosystem for sexually attractive men. And this video came about just because we were having our regular Monday night Zoom conversation, a Monday night live conversation in my dating coach community on the school platform, the one I want everyone to sign up for, because these are the types of discussions that we have. And I was talking about women's misdirection and, women trying to overinflate their sense of value and what men give to them through misdirection, manipulation. I was talking about that subject matter in the monologue. And one of the faithful members of the community, he essentially said that, he disagrees to an extent because he thinks that simps do offer these women a lot of things. And I let him know that, it's okay to have independent thought. That's why we have dialogue on the monologue. That's what it's all about. And, I also let him know what the dynamic was, for the simp, and just to let him know that this is what you're missing out on. This is what you're actually missing out on by looking back. You're becoming a new man, but you start to look back like, man, maybe simps are getting a little better than I am, and that's called the gap. And I want to get to that because that's what I introduced on the coaching call was the gap. So that simp meets that woman and he automatically gives her an offering. And that woman demands the offering, be it a date, some sort of dinner, money, how the standard is out here. Like the woman's not attracted to you primally on a primal level, then she's going to require something of you to compensate for her lack of attraction to you. Okay, so that's how it begins. It's an exchange of an offering. And this is where the chaos begins right here. Because the woman requires an offering because she believes that the man is not going to remain in her space long enough for it to be worthwhile for her. Meaning that man is going to find out who she is and be turned off like all of the previous men. So that's why she wants an offering. And she wants the offering because she can't play the long game and inspire you to give her the things that she wants and more. That's what inspirational women do. They do exist. Inspirational women don't have to ask a man for a thing because they gamble on themselves and enter his presence and offer their best to him. And once that happens, that man is inspired. And then once he's inspired, he's going to give more than she could ever ask of him because he understands that she's there for the right reasons. So that's called balance right there. But the simp that, the member of my community was looking back at, kind of like second guessing, looking back at that part of himself and second guessing, he was contemplating those thoughts of what is he missing out on? And that's why I had to make it very clear. So that's the woman, the uninspiring woman who requires an offering because she can't inspire an offering. So she's entrenched in insecurity and she's entrenched in a sense of a lack of discipline to develop herself to become an inspirational woman who can get these things from men without asking. So she's already in an arrested development state, an underdeveloped state, and a dangerous state to any man, okay? Because she's not there for the right reasons of lust, desire, reverence, and respect. And so the man, the simp, he's there because he's there to compensate for that woman's lack of attraction to him because he's not attracted to himself. Here's the offering. He values her in that puthi above his own self-respect and self-love. So he's completely imbalanced right there. So you have a chaotic rogue woman requiring gifts from you because she knows that you probably won't be there long once you really sniff out her scent. And then you have a man who doesn't believe he's good enough to get in the space of a beautiful woman without giving her an offering because he overvalues the woman above himself. And if that's something that you want to look back on and miss, then that means you're not looking forward. See, this is the gap right here. Okay. This is important for every man. If you're going to transition into the sexy, attractive man, the man who's clicking on all cylinders, who has full awareness of himself, who's accepted himself, the man who wants to be no one other than himself, and who's gone into the depths of the best that he has to offer from the depths of his being, his gifts, his talents, his ability. That's the sexy, attractive man right there. But in order to become that man, it begins with an awareness. And that's why I love how the gentlemen are in my group, because they now have an awareness. They watch my videos and they came over because they want to transition into that sex symbol, that sexy, attractive man. So they're at a place of awareness. So that's what's going to get you on the road to becoming that sexy, attractive man. And that's what's going to make your prior movements that were once enjoyable undesirable. Okay. So once you have an awareness of all sides of women, that's what they call the red whip, the red pill, awakening, awareness, right? So now you know that there's guys that she interacts with that she doesn't require offspring from. And she's so sexually attracted to those guys that she immediately creates a sexual situation when she meets those guys. And not only that, that she actually has hope that one of these guys is going to choose her if he has something going for himself. And then that woman finds out that he's extremely attractive and he has something going for himself. That's her number one option. She'll never be frustrated with a man like that in her presence because that's a full representation of what she desires. So now you take this red pill, you get this knowledge and this awareness and this information. And once you get that awareness, you can't turn back. Awareness only expands, it does not retract. And if you try to retract into your old self that you are compelled to escape, you're going to face nothing but frustration. That's what looking back and questioning whether the simp has it a little bit better than you. That's you returning to your old self, questioning your new self, and returning to your old self when you begin to ask yourself those kinds of questions. Even though you know the frustration that was on that side, and that's why you want to escape it. But when you have the temptation to escape your personal growth, the new man, and turn back towards the old man, that means you're not looking forward. That means that you're in the gap, but you're supposed to stand in the gap and look forward and not look back. That's how you grow and evolve into the man who can fully occupy the seat at the table that is designed for him, his personal greatness. So the gentleman, he posed a question about the simp, about the reality of the simp, and I broke it down on so many different levels, more so than I'm going to do in this video, of the actuality of what that simp was getting himself into through inferior movements initially. How you get that woman is how you keep her. So when you get the awareness, now you have to move into a new space. And there's a space that's going to purge you and develop you into the masculine, sexy, attractive man that can occupy the seat of his purpose and his destiny and his greatness. And not just beautiful women will gravitate towards you. Life will give you a completely better and elevated experience if you stand in this gap long enough. Okay, because you're escaping your old man, but you haven't quite become the new man. That's called the gap right there. And when you stand in this gap, awareness brought you there, but the desire to reach your personal greatness is going to keep you there. And when you stand in this gap, you may have less women because that same man who's tempted to look back and look at what the simp might be getting that he's not getting, that same man looks at that same simp and says, I can't believe I used to do those things. So the gap is a great place for the new you to confront the old you. It's a great place for that to happen. Because what happens in the gap that poises you to experience personal greatness, that postures you for personal greatness, is that the gap, you arrive there because you do not overvalue women because you understand all sides of them. You understand that you were designed for them to submit to you. You understand what you have to offer to the world and what you have to offer to women, that you're in a position, a creative position of leadership and guidance to her. So then you can't overvalue her at that point. You can't pedestalize her. So you stand in that gap with that new understanding, and you're not going to simp. You're not going to be a man that overextends himself for beauty and puti, because you're coming into more of an awareness of your true self and your power and your greatness and the great things you have to offer to this world. You're coming into that awareness every day, even more as you stand in the gap. So you stand right in that gap, and then you begin to go deeper into yourself. And you go deeper into yourself, and since you're not overvaluing things above yourself, naturally you're going deeper into yourself. You're taking an exploration into yourself to see the great things about you that are unique to you. It's a natural course of action when you step into that gap, when you make a conscious step to abandon the old man that will overvalue Pootie and simp for these women. You fall in love with yourself. And as you fall in love with yourself, you begin to discover the best things about yourself. And as that happens, you begin to evolve and emerge and become the man that you were designed to be, because you don't want to be anything other than what you are. The simp says whoever has the baddest bitches is the man, and you know, spend that money. Look at the rappers, simp, simp, simp. That's what the world says. But when you come into the truth of who you are and you understand what you have to value and you're discovering the best things about yourself, then it's no longer let me offer these things to women. It's let me offer myself to society, and I will stand satisfied with everything that naturally comes back to me. That's the gap right there. But there's some things that you have to discover about yourself before you can fully occupy your personal seat at the table of greatness. There's things that you have to discover about yourself. But the gap is a place where there are no distractions. There may be some temptations to go back, but there's really no distractions because you're away from the thing that previously occupied your space. You're in a new space. And if you stay in that space, you're going to once again discover things about yourself that you were blind to. And then if you stay in that space long enough, then you're going to accept the things that you're learning about yourself. And when you accept yourself, then you become your true self. And then that's when you graduate out of that gap. When you graduate from the gap, it was nothing that you necessarily did. It was the season that you withstood. And through the withstanding of that season of self discovery, of graduating to the next level of greatness, you discovered some things about yourself. And it's not that you just discovered them, you accepted those things. You entrenched yourself in the new identity that was developing from the inside out. And by virtue of that, you're giving your best. See, the gap is where the signs and markers of your personal greatness happen, because you haven't confronted your old man enough for these new occurrences that are a representation of your personal greatness to not happen intermittently. They can't happen in their fullness because you haven't reached your fullness yet. That's what the gap is about. Abandoning the old man and coming into the fullness of the truth of who you are. So it's good to be in the gap. It's an extreme state of development. And your signs and markers that you're becoming a new man are going to happen intermittently. That's the universe letting you know that you're on the right track. You'll get glimpses of women responding to you in a way they've never responded to you before. You'll get glimpses of people being in admiration of you like they've never been before. You'll get glimpses because glimpses of your true self are emerging to the surface. And you'll know that you graduated when the glimpses become a regular occurrence. That's when you're occupying your personal seat at the table of greatness, your own personal greatness. And see, once you hit that seat as it relates to women, your ego is suspended. See, the simp is ruled by ego. He's ruled by the value that society gave him in terms of what his value actually is. Get the most money, get the most bitches. That's what society told him. But when you suspend your ego, you go deeper into yourself and you live your absolute truth. And so you could, once upon a time you were a man in that gap and you look back like maybe I'm missing out. But when you truly get into the fullness of who you are and you occupy your personalized seat at the table of greatness, then what happens is that you get into what's called a free flow of masculinity. A free flow of masculinity is when you become your true self and women offer themselves to you. Women who are on higher levels than anything you've ever experienced offer themselves to you because they recognize you now. Before, they just saw what they wanted from you because you were invisible. But now they recognize you because you recognize yourself. You truly embrace yourself. And you have something unique. Every man has something unique that once he gets to that table of greatness, because he stood in that gap long enough for him to develop, there's something unique that he's offering. And that's what women are recognizing, that you're different. Because the average man is not going to stand in that gap. The average man is not going to approach that gap. The average man is going to shape, shift, and manipulate and hope that people believe that he's something that he's not, based on what society told him represents value. That's the average man right there. But since you abandoned the average old man, you withstood the season of self-awareness, and then those intermittent glimpses of greatness became a normal occurrence. You were welcome to the table at that point. Since you did that, women recognize you because now you are a departure from what they're used to experiencing. On a primal level and on a spiritual level, they know that you're the man who can better their life. That's why they offer themselves to you. It's not because you look so good. Of course, you're going to look better when you come out of that season of greatness, because becoming the best also consequently means that you're going to want to look your best. So you're going to come out looking better, and you're going to have more decorations around you. Not decorations to appeal to women, the natural decorations that surround you when you submit to and live your truth. And so you're going to be a man that is on display, and women are going to want you. They're going to offer themselves to you in droves. It's going to be a free flow of masculinity because they love masculine energy. And that simp that you look back at, you attempted to revisit, there's not an ounce of masculine energy in that man. And so even though she might pair with that man, she might even marry that man, she's dissatisfied with him because she really yearns for masculinity because that's how she was created. And so you become that man that is on full display. And that's when, you know, the words that was spoken that gave you an awareness of there's another side to women, that gave you the inspiration to stand in the gap and say, maybe I can access that other side of women. Now the words are no longer words because they become real, and you access that other side of women, where women can view their own benefit from being in your life through submitting to you and not manipulating you. That's the difference. The woman is supposed to look at the man for a benefit. That's how she was created. The type of benefit that she infers that she can get from you is going to determine whether she is satisfied or dissatisfied with you. And when there's a number of women who are satisfied with you, offering themselves to you in droves, now you've been offered a seat at the table. And that's the table to your own personal greatness. And it's not just women. There are much more elevated opportunities that are coming to you because you're giving a better product to the marketplace. You're giving your best self, not the concocted self that society told you to become, not the man that the Matrix told you what was, great and better than other men. You become your unique self, the absolute best version of an offering that you can offer to this world. It's not just going to be women. Everything else is going to come back to you in a more heightened fashion and manner. So I'm urging you all to stand in that gap. And the men who have decided that they're going to stand in the gap, don't be tempted to look back. It's going to happen, but you still have to turn around and face forward, because that's what your personal greatness is withstanding your path. Achieving your personal greatness in increments, letting the universe incrementally give you signs and markers until it knows that you've developed into a full man who is in full awareness of himself. You have to stay your course. You have to stay your course. But the sex symbol, sexy, attractive man who stayed his course, he's such a departure. But it's two ways that this man is viewed. He's loved or hated. He's loved because there's a masculine man. He's loved by other men because there's a masculine man inside of other men that is very suppressed. And a man that is living his truth outside of the definition of what the Matrix told him that he should be is a showpiece. He's on full display. And so you're an inspiration to the suppressed masculine man that's in every man. So your presence awakens the suppressed greatness that other men possess. Other men want to be you. But then, a lot of times that admiration and the discipline that it takes to become you becomes apparent. And a lot of times that love can turn to hate, or men won't have any love for you because it's like you have audacity. You had audacity to go against the matrix. You had audacity to go within and say, who am I? I don't like the results I've been getting. I've been running in a circle. Who am I? That's audacity. Audacity is a secretly admired, yet openly ridiculed attribute that you must possess in order to make it to your promised land. That's what audacity is. So those men who hate you, they hate you because they love you so much and they want to be you so much, but they can't become you. It's a secretly admired, yet openly ridiculed. The motherfuckers who hate you love you. They just don't have the discipline to stand in the gap. And so you have to stand in the gap for them and show them it's possible. Distance yourself from them, because nothing good comes from a hater in your presence. But be an inspirational force from a distance, someone who goes from the signs and markers to the regular occurrences of greatness because they've elevated into the optimal man that they can possibly be. And that's the choice that's before you. This information, this awareness is something that you can now not escape. You've mind fucked yourself by taking in information like this because it's showing you a side of women, it's showing you a side of life that the world does not readily let you know is available. Now you know it's available, and you're going to be frustrated if you don't get in that gap, stand in that gap, and withstand your process so that incremental signs of greatness will ultimately become your norm. This has been Matthew C. Horne, author, motivational speaker, and dating coach. Bring you a video tonight that simps never disrupt the ecosystem for sexually attractive men. It's brought to you by my books, How to Get Beautiful Women and Everything Else You Want from Life, in addition to How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. They're both available at my website, www.matthewchorne.com. Get your copies. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to continue to push me with the algorithm so I can continue to bring you these elevated messages. And I hear you all in the comments. You want me to make particular videos on specific topics. Those are called custom videos. If you want me to make a custom video for you, then you have to go to my PayPal and my Cash App information that's in my video description. You have to make a donation of $150 or more to my PayPal and my Cash App information. There's a note feature after you type in the dollar amount. And before you complete the donation, there's a note feature. You can leave the title of the video that you want me to make in the note feature. Complete the donation, and I'll have your video on my channel in 24 hours or less. If your subject matter is more detailed and nuanced than just leaving a note on the note feature, then I want you to make the $150 more donation on my PayPal and my Cash App. Complete the donation without leaving a note. And then I want you to email me at matt@matthewchorne.com with your more nuanced and in-depth description of what you want me to make your video on. And it's all the same. Your video will be on my channel in 24 hours or less. If my message has been inspirational to you, eye-opening, of extreme value to you, then I want you to make a donation to my PayPal and my Cash App information that's in my video description. I'll never tell you what to donate. Just donate according to how you've been impacted. I never take a donation lightly. Your donations continue to help me to elevate, grow, and move forward and keep me here as I am in position to give you this elevated game so you can elevate, grow, and move forward as well. I'm thankful for the people in the comments who, since we're at the end of the year, who are letting me know how impactful I've been in their lives and how they've been able to make transitions. They're standing in that gap and they're loving what they see as they stand in that gap. And so I'm thankful for you all telling me the impact that I'm making on you. And I want you to show me, okay, how much impact I'm making on you. Make sure you show me some love as well. Donate to my PayPal and my Cash App, okay? If you're in need of coaching, if you have different challenges, impediments, and circular movements and frustrations in the dating space that you just can't escape, I'm your man. I'm your dating coach. I can get you through any situation that you're in. If you're in need of dating coaching, email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. In the subject matter of the email, you leave coaching. In the body of the email, you leave your name, your phone number, whatever issue that you're facing in the dating space, and then I will do an assessment. I'll read it quickly, do an assessment, email you back with the terms of the coaching. Once you accept the terms, then we'll set a date and time and the coaching will commence. Your breakthrough will happen in that 1 hour coaching session with me, sign up for your dating coaching session and get to the other side of the impediments, challenges, and frustrations in the dating space that you've been experiencing. I'm still looking to fill the remaining slots of the 5 individuals who want to take a year-long coaching journey with me. That year-long coaching journey, what it looks like, 3 coaching calls per week, minimum. I'm going to do an assessment of exactly where you are. I'm not going to listen to what you say. I'm going to assess you myself, come to my own conclusions about you. And I'm going to create custom curriculum to take you from where you are, custom curriculum and coaching, take you from where you are to where you want to be and beyond that. You give me 1 year of your life, it will never be the same. And so you're also going to have 24-hour access to me. You can be in any situation with a woman or in life. You can contact me 24 hours a day. You'll get a response. That's why I can only take on 5 people. This is a lot of bandwidth, but I'm looking for 5 serious people who want to take a year-long coaching journey with me. We're also going to meet up, no matter where you are in the world. We're going to meet up at least once after I coach you and I trust that you've been growing and evolving, you're internalizing the coaching, then we can meet up in person. And I can coach you in person no matter where you are. It's going to be a great personalized experience, okay? You give me 1 year of your life, it's never going to be the same. You're going to have expectations for yourself. You know the value of my content. You know the value of my direction. But there's a place that you think you're going to arrive at. And I'm telling you, you spend 1 year of your life with me, you're going to go beyond that place. So sign up for your year-long coaching journey with me. Email me at matt@matthewchorne.com. Leave mentorship in the subject matter of the email. In the body of the email, you leave your name, your phone number, and you just let me know exactly where you are in the dating space and in life and where you want to be. I'll do an assessment, and I'm not going to email you back. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you that same day you email me. And we're going to get on the phone and decide if we're a good fit to work with one another over the course of a year. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the people who want to sign up and take this year-long coaching journey with me. Lastly, my dating coach community on the school platform. I want everyone to sign up. It's a monthly, very affordable membership, and you have unlimited access to me right in this space, okay? I give 2 videos that are not on YouTube every week in the community. I allow members of the community to give me subject matter to make videos on, so they get their personalized videos right in the community. And everyone in the community benefits because I post them in the community. So we have dozens of videos that are personalized just for the community that are archived. Also, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have a live right on the school platform in the community. Everyone who signed up for my group, who's a member of my dating coach community, can get on the live with me for an hour. What that hour looks like is I do a monologue on a particular topic. We discuss the topic, we dialogue. And when we're done dialoguing, you have an hour to ask me anything that you want to ask me about life, dating, anything. I'm your dating coach once a week for an hour. It gets no better than that, okay? So sign up for my dating coach community. Every live that we've had is archived in the community as well. So you can join, you can binge watch, and then you can be empowered. You can be heightened. You can jump right on that Monday night Zoom, that Monday night live with us as well. You know, it's an amazing space for personal growth. I want everyone under the sound of my voice, sign up for my dating coach community. The link to sign up will be in my video description, as well as pinned to the top of the comments. I've enjoyed spending some time with you all tonight. And just understand that simps can never disrupt the ecosystem for the sexy attractive man. The sexy attractive man is a standalone entity. He is someone that is perceived. He is observed and perceived. That's why women involuntarily offer themselves to him, because he has that much energy that surrounds him. See, being a sex symbol and a sexy attractive man is not all about your looks. It's the energetic interpretation that everyone around you feels. You influence the room moves with you. If you subscribe to the matrix, then you move with the room. There's no impact there. You blend. No matter how high up the matrix says that you are, you blend because you're under the same indoctrination. But when you fall in love with yourself, you influence the room. The room moves with you. And that's why the ecosystem can never be disrupted by a simp, because a sexy, attractive man is in a completely different stratosphere, man. If you want to become that man, you all need to reach out to me, man. I'll see you all soon.